Did you get to play in here the last 2 games, right?
Yes, I did.
What was that process like? And, does it matter when you come into a building like this that you were just in here a month ago?
Yeah, for sure. Familiarity is definitely something that played a factor. We were just here. Obviously, we know what to expect. It's game 3 now in our series, so we're pretty familiar with their team, and they're a great team. Obviously, a lot of pace, a lot of speed. They work very hard, so it's going to be a fun environment out there tonight, and we've got to be ready to start on time for first and foremost, but also just match their work ethic, match their intensity, and we should be fun.
We talk about adversity and how good this team has been coming back. How do you carry over momentum from a win? Is that just as important?
Yeah, it's just as important and just as difficult to do. Obviously, we're on the other end of being coming back from a tough start of the game before, so that team's going to come out absolutely fine. We know that, and like I said earlier, we just got to match that and be ready because you got to weather the storm at some point. So ideally, the first 10 minutes we have a good start and just kind of build on that and go from there.
What's been the process like for you building chemistry because your line has shifted around a little bit because of injuries and everything?
Yeah, for sure. I think at this point we're all pretty familiar with each other. Played with a bunch of different guys, so. It's getting there in terms of the chemistry and whatnot, but no, Joe Pavelski's one of the easiest guys to play with, so no complaints there, that's for sure. Just trying to enjoy every second, but no, it's been fun.
What is the balance of your game? Because you did score goals in Chicago, but you do seem like a playmaker as well. I mean, it's almost like you're looking for pass first, and then trying to pick up goals when you can pick up goals.
Yeah, I think when you're playing with 2 guys that are primarily scorers, with Joe and Mush, you got to have someone else that's going to make some plays and distribute the puck a little bit. So that's always been something that I've done my whole life, and nothing new to me, really.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're very creative.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
But then, do you have to get confidence to do some things that you may not have the first couple of games you're here? Are you more cautious as you get on a new team? Or,
not really.
You just
I just like
it?
making plays, to be honest. Sometimes I probably should shoot more than I do, but it's just that's how I've always played.
When you look at the film, do you look at things and say, like, we're up in the press box, you're like, how did he do that? How did you stick handle around a guy? Or like, do you practice on different things in traffic? You seem to be able to move the puck around very well.
I have no idea. It's probably just like going back to playing like shinny and pond hockey, just trying to dangle your friends and make them look bad. No, honestly, it's fun. It's part of the game, right? Trying to create space, especially as a smaller guy. You're not always going to be able to outmuscle guys down low, so you got to be creative and you got to beat them in other ways. So just try and use that and as much as I can, and when I can't use that, just try and use your speed. And that seems to work sometimes.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys have played well on the road. What has been the key for you? I know you were in this building just a month ago. Is it, different things that you guys do to be good on the road, or is it just you play your game and it just seems to happen?
I think we just keep playing or try to play like we play at home, and the strength of our team, what's been the 4 lines and 3 deeper. So I think that comes more in place on the road as well with the last change and all that. So. I think that's been a big key to help us on the road.
How important are winning faceoffs? Because you guys, I think, are best in the league during the regular season. Best. It seems like on the road, winning the faceoffs, getting the puck is important, especially special teams.
Yeah, of course. It's at least 5-10 seconds if you lose it and you chase, and so it saves energy, helps you make your play what you planned.
On the power play, those I think you guys scored 7-9 seconds, whatever. And those are, that's big. And then
that's
Luke.
exactly.
I think last game won 2 in a row and killed 40 seconds off of a penalty kill.
Yeah, exactly. So it can save you a lot of seconds and energy, and of course you wanna be on the right side on that.
We talk a lot about you guys as a team responding to adversity. How do you carry momentum from a win? I know the challenge going up to Minnesota, that was tough.
Yeah, of course we want to learn from the previous series kind of mistakes, and we know we expect them to have a pushback today. So we have to be prepared for that and just ready to battle as hard as we did last game.
we talked about Miro a lot, and Pete's brought him up too about the Norris and everything. What has he done this year that's puts him in that in that conversation? Because he clearly doubled his points.
Yeah,
and and then he's at 29 minutes or whatever here in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a lot of minutes, and I think that was fair point for him and Johnny as well. Like,
yeah.
They both have been playing so well through the whole year. So I think just Miro, he had that like when Klinger left, it was like clear chance to be the top D-man in the team, and he's been playing the full season like that, and just like you said in the playoffs, 29 minutes that's very impressive. It's way harder than what maybe some people think.
Thank you.
Just before we start, I just want to acknowledge how heartbroken we are about the mass shooting in Allen, Texas. It's really close to home, obviously, and just tragic. And frankly, when you hear victims as young as 5 years old, you just you get tired of hearing it. And I think when you hear Sandy Hook and Parkland and Nashville, unless it's in your backyard, you compartmentalize it and put it aside. And then when it happens in your backyard, you realize the horror of it. And I don't pretend to know the answer on how to fix it, but it's too great a country and too many intelligent people not to do something about it. So just horrific. Anyway.
How do you kind of, you talk about that stuff and just moving on to the game. How
Yeah.
do you kind of compartmentalize all that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's it's tough to think about games when you wake up to headlines like that, and we shop there. I mean, that's probably and I don't have the words for it. I just there has to be some answers. Somebody has to have some answers for it.
So you shop there. Have you been there before?
Yeah. That mall, family's been there. Family shops there. Players go there. We got an East Coast League team that plays out of there 5 minutes from there. Just tragic. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Probably not a great time to talk hockey. But
Being in this arena twice, do you kind of get a feel for what the atmosphere? I know playoffs are different, but does it help to get a feel for the atmosphere so recently?
Yeah, great arena, great franchise, great city. Great energy in here. We came in here late in the season for a back-to-back. Beautiful building, so it's an exciting place to play, and I know our guys are excited to play tonight.
You won twice here. You've had a good road record. Teams around the league have had good road records. Like I know we kind of ask this question all the time, but already in the league, we tied the same number of road wins as all the playoffs last year. Like,
Yeah.
do you have any theories on why?
You know what? I don't. I just think I think the parity in the league, we've talked about it for years, but it's unprecedented. I think there's 7 teams in the Western Conference with 100+ points. So the margins are razor thin. I mean, it goes back. The old rinks used to have a distinct home ice advantage. Chicago Arena, where Sharpie played, or some of those rinks, there was a distinct home ice advantage. I don't think there is anymore. Sometimes it's easier to play on the road. Less distractions, less pressure to try and make plays and maybe put a show on for your hometown fans. I don't have the answer, but I don't think it's an accident. I don't think it's an aberration. I think it's, that's real.
You talked the other day about the lack of awards for your team, and when you coach a team, it's finalist. When you coach a team that has 108 points, breaks a bunch of team records, do you just kind of feel like somebody's deserving of something, and in particular, probably Miro?
Yeah. Yeah, I talked about that the other day. I know it sounds like, sour grapes, and it by no means is any kind of reflection on the players that did get nominated, because they're all fantastic players. I just feel like our two guys just don't get enough recognition, for the seasons they've had. The two guys I specifically talked about, Wyatt Johnson and Miro. I think I just felt like I wanted to toot their horns, because I think they deserve it.
With Miro doing what he did in scoring this year, do you see a more complete defenseman?
I think he's always been a complete defenseman. I think he's kind of at the intersection of his career now, where maturity, opportunity to run a first power play, opportunity to be a number one and play 27 to 29 minutes a night. I think those have all come together kind of this year for him. And, so I think that's what you're seeing. I think he's always been really solid in his own end. I think the offensive piece was just waiting to kind of emerge.
How important has face-offs been for you? I think both on the power play and penalty kill. Luke,
Yeah.
you, I think, last game where he basically won both and
Yeah.
dragged off like.
Yeah, it's a critical piece. It's a critical piece of our game. I think every team's built with strengths, and that's been a strength of the Dallas Stars before I got here. I think this year it's gone to an elite level. It's always been really, really good. I think we were one in the league this year, right? So I think the guys take a lot of pride in it. I think it affects all parts of our game, starting with the puck, 5-on-5, penalty kill, power play. Really, really underrated, important part of the game for us.
And the lefty-righty thing, is that a big part of it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's such a specialty now that you can have the best face-off guy in the world, and if you stick him on the wrong side of the ice, he's average. So you need that.
Curious what your approach to special teams. Talk to the players. They almost view power play as like the privilege as the reward, and PK is like when you're coming up, you have to. If you can't, do whatever else that you do on the PK. How do you view the balance of the two, and how players view those?
Yeah. I don't know. I've always believed. I've never believed that the penalty kill should just be another shift for a good player. I think the best penalty killing teams I've had have been guys that really take pride in jumping over the boards and getting the job done. It's not just another shift for them, in a 22-minute night game. And I think that's how this group's built. Glendening, Kiviranta, Faxa, Delandria, those are our main four guys. Hack and Lindell, those guys don't play on the power play, and they hop over the boards, and they take a ton of pride in that, and I think that's a real key component.